Encapsulated Himalayan Salt Gel Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you a Himalayan salt nail. So this one has, like I said, it's Himalayan salt and I used actual pink salt that I have. I have been using pink salt in my little salt grinder thing for, I don't know, years. It's been a long time since I switched. So I decided, you know what, it'd be pretty cool to do that in a nail. And the reason I'm using gel for this is I've had experience with acrylic monomer melting some things that I've been trying to encase or encapsulate in nails, and I thought that would probably happen with the salt, but I figured if I went with gel, then gel probably wouldn't do that. So that's why I did it with gel. But if you guys want to try to do it with acrylic, please do, and let me know if it works out, if it's successful, or if the acrylic does weird things to the salt. I don't know what would happen or not. So anyways, I love this. I love the way it turned out. I think that it has a really cool marble crackly appearance in the encapsulated nail, so it's just gorgeous. And I painted a really simple little design around the top and added some rhinestones. Very easy. I hope you guys like this as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well. So to start with, I'm going to be gluing my little salt crystals all over the nail. So I covered the nail with some nail glue, and I'm going to take and just pour on my pink salt. So there I go, and as you can see, it didn't stick everywhere. It kind of bounced off in some areas. So just pick it up and then re-stick it down if you need to add more glue, as nail glue does. When you don't want it to dry quickly, it dries instantly. And when you want it to dry quickly because you're holding something in place until it dries, it takes forever. It's very frustrating, nail glue. It's probably my least favorite substance in the world. But reapply the glue where you need to and then pour on more of the salt. I just have salt in a little cup that I'm kind of reusing and pouring, so whatever drops on the table, I just kind of pick back up and put it back in the cup, or just reattach it with my fingers and just kind of get the different things. It's really nice with the pink salt, when you re-stick them in different places, you can pick the crystals that are a bit more colorful because it's not all the same. Then after the glue has dried and you have all of your nail salty, then apply a layer of gel sealer over the whole thing, just to really kind of get it in all the crevices, and then cure that. After it's cured, that gel sealer will hold them down a little bit and keep them from popping off as you are applying your first layer of builder gel. So this layer is just to really make sure that the salt is not going to fall off the nail, and it's going to make sure that it's got some strength so that after it's cured, which it is now, and then you remove the tacky layer, which is a little bit hard to do because it's working in and around all those little pieces of salt, that then you can go through and you can file the nail with your e-file or a hand file. But since this is going to be quite a bit of filing, I would recommend using an e-file if you have one at your disposal. I'm just going to smooth it out. Now this will end up being thinner than I want my nail to be in the end, and probably not quite as smooth and finished looking, but you're going to be getting rid of all the little sharp pieces on the salt. Now the salt crystal I was using, as you can see, they're pretty big, so we are taking off most of that. It's just going to leave a nice little layer of color and that wonderful cracked appearance that this nail had in the end. So then after you have that, remove the dust with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. And then you're going to want to take and apply another layer of the clear builder gel. This will be where you're going to be adding your strength. So make sure that you have a really nice apex as you are doing this first layer. So I'm just going to apply a layer like I'm painting over the top of it, and then I'm going to go back through, grab a little bit more of that gel, and just sort of fill in the areas that need it. If you guys are familiar with my channel, you may have noticed I don't really work with gel very often. So whenever I do, I feel like I'm speaking a foreign language, sort of like if I were to be, I don't know, forced to speak Spanish for a day. I do know a little bit of Spanish, but not enough to really carry on a conversation. That's kind of how I feel with gel sometimes. I'm kind of working on it. I'm slowly immersing myself in the gel language. But then I'm going to go through with a much finer bit than the one I was using before, and I'm going to be refiling over the surface of the nail. And the reason I use a finer bit is because gel files pretty easily comparatively to acrylic, and I'm used to using acrylic, so when I try to file gel the way I file acrylic, I file off way too fast. And I'm going to touch it up with a hand file. Same thing, since it does file so easily, it's not that bad to just do a little bit of hand filing if you like and get it nice and smooth. And then I'm going to take some black paint, and I'm going to be adding my little swirly design along the top portion of the nail around the cuticle. So I'm just going to start in one area that I like, and I'm going to be adding a beginning swirl and then add a couple more, kind of connecting them here and there and working them through and just sort of fitting them in like a little puzzle. I also added a couple little leaves in there, just a nice little subtle filigree pattern just to fill it in where it needs to, and keep adding little bits. When you're doing this, you have a lot of freedom to kind of just add wherever the paint takes you. Add polka dots, like I said, add leaves. You can add some little flowers. When you're doing a pattern like this, it's completely up to you how you want to handle it and what kind of shapes you want to use. I usually like to start with swirls and then fill in around the swirls. I don't always fill in just using swirls perfectly, so if you have some other shapes that you can use to add a little bit here and there, that does help. After you have all of your black paint on there, you go ahead and apply a layer of gel sealer, and that's really where you can see how gorgeous the salt is. It's stunning. I love the way it turned out. After that's cured, I'm going to take more of that nail glue, and I'm going to be gluing on some rhinestones and some studs, and I'll be focusing those on the side that I did not put as much of the black filigree. So as you could see, the filigree went about 2/3 across the nail along the top, whereas the same thing is going to happen with the rhinestones. So I'm going to focus the rhinestones on the side away from the black painting, but then I'm also going to add a couple of them within the black design. So I have some pink rhinestones as well as some rose gold studs, and that rose gold looks perfect with the salt. The colors just look phenomenal together. So I love the way that those turned out, and I haven't really used my rose gold studs yet. I have a couple sets of them because I haven't found the right use for them, but I think this is it. I think they look just perfect with the pink salt. I hope you guys like this and try this out. The reason I didn't use acrylic is because I wasn't sure how the acrylic monomer would react with the salt. I thought it might melt it, so I thought I'd just try it with gel, and I really liked the way it turned out. It was fairly easy to do, so I hope you guys like it as much as I do, and don't forget to share any recreations with me on Facebook and Instagram. I would love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!